even here in Abuja. So why lying to Nigerians? Every time, some government official would be lying to Nigerians for their failure. I think it is time that government officials become more responsive and responsible and very sensitive to the Nigerians' plight. Nigerians have been killed, attacked every now and then as a result of lackadaisical attitude and as a result of the inability of the government to put necessary, honest, sincere measures to deal with the level of insecurity we are facing in this country.
Joint civil society decry worrisome state of insecurity and demand government accountability in safeguarding citizens. We must all rise to contend for the soul of our country, for the hands of insurgents and political miscreants. Know that no one is safe till everyone is safe. This clarion call was made by Awal Musa Rafsanjani in a press statement issued by civil society organization representing all civil society across the country in Abuja. The organization urgently called and reminded the government to fulfill its constitutional responsibility of protecting lives and property.
A call to the federal government of Nigeria to fulfill its primary constitutional responsibility of securing the nation. We, as civil society organizations and citizen groups across Nigeria, note with concern worsening state of insecurity in Nigeria. We, therefore, call on the government to take urgent steps to fulfill its constitutional responsibility of protecting lives and property as enunciated in Section 14, subsection 2, and Section 33 of the 1999 Constitution of Nigeria as amended, and in fulfillment of its obligation under the Article 3 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights and Article 4 of the African Charter on Human Rights and People's Rights. This call has become necessary in the face of escalating attacks and wanton killing of thousands of Nigerians in different parts of the country. Most recently, in the first month, being the bombing of the Abuja-Kaduna train and Gidan train station, the brazen attack on Kaduna Airport, the takeover of Kaduna-Abuja Express Road by terrorist groups, the siege on the 9 communities in Giwa local government area, Kaduna State, which resulted in the loss of over 100 lives, was an unspecified number of persons abducted from their homes during that invasion. The increased attack in the southeastern Nigeria, in particular Imo State, the attack on Iwe South local government of Anambra State, and the burning of the local government secretariat. The escalation of gang war in Lagos and Ogun states, the killing of over 65 persons in Kebbi State, the attack on Kwale Area Council of Abuja, and the abduction of a traditional ruler, the list appears endless. We cannot continue to be watching when innocent Nigerians are being killed in their fatherland. Something must be done. And if the political class are not able to fulfill their primary responsibility, they have no reason to continue to impose themselves as rulers or leaders in this country. We must, as a civil society, remind them about the constitutional responsibility they are supposed to uphold. And failure to do that, it tantamount abdicating or abdicating their responsibilities. All of this signaled a total collapse of country's security architecture. The apparent nonchalance by government, evidenced by it an ending ruthless statement, raises concern about its commitment to ending this siege that continually compromises our individual and collective security as Nigerians. You will ask yourself, if Kaduna, with all the military formation in Kaduna, cannot be secured and cannot take timely and proactive action to stop the kind of unwanted killing and abduction by terrorists, then you wonder in Kaduna you have several military formations from the Air Force to the Army. And if this can continue, then you wonder what will have happened to other places where you do not have that much security personnel. Even here in Abuja. So why lying to Nigerians? Every time, some government official will be lying to Nigerians for their failure. I think it is time that government officials become more responsible and very sensitive to the Nigerians' plight. Nigerians are being killed, attacked every now and then as a result of lackadaisical attitude and as a result of the inability of the government to put necessary, honest, sincere measures to deal with the level of insecurity we are facing in this country. Nigerians are increasingly living in a constant fear and apprehension of becoming victims of mass atrocities, both in public and private spaces. They can no longer sleep at home in peace or travel without fear of being abducted or killed. Parents are choosing to keep their children away from school for fear of being abducted. No one feels safe in this country except those officials that have rented protection. Because those ones, they believe that they have rented protection and the lives of other Nigerians don't matter. It's very clear. Well, we commend the National Assembly for its proactive steps to summon the heads of security agencies who are directly saddled with the responsibility of securing Nigeria. We note that their timidity and assertiveness demanding that the presidency and the service chief be accountable. We strongly condemn the failure of the service chiefs to honor invitation by the National Assembly as it is underscoring the lack of accountability to the people that they have sworn to protect and the level of priority they attach to their duty of securing our lives as Nigerians. We therefore urge the National Assembly to be bolder in its oversight function and demand accountability of the executive and its agencies. Under democracy, there must be democratic leadership within the security and security control. You cannot be under democracy and then you are denying or refusing National Assembly call. As far as we are in democracy, there must be democratic control of the Nigerian security. Democracy is not a license for violence. Democracy is not a license for looting and siphoning public taxpayers' money. Democracy cannot be hijacked by those who are not even Democrats. And therefore, we are calling on every Nigerian not to allow any politicians to use them for political violence or thuggery.
Ms. Abiodun Bayewu, Chairperson, Global Rights, implore the government to urgently and deliberately live up to its constitutional duty and investigate the claim by the Minister of Transportation, Honorable Chibuike Rotimi Amechi. She enjoined everyone to unite in demanding accountability from the government.
To account for the abducted, the missing, and the dead in the Abuja-Kaduna rail bombing. Now, till date, we do not know who exactly has been rescued by the government and who is missing. To take immediate action to rescue all abducted persons in that incident and in incidents across the country. To conduct an independent inquiry into the immediate and remote circumstances that enable the successful bombing of the train, and in particular, to investigate the claims by the Minister of Transportation, Mr. Chibuike Rotimi Amechi, to the effect that some people frustrated his effort towards providing critical surveillance infrastructure for the rail track with a view to identifying who these people are and deliberately sabotaging government's efforts. And finally, to take deliberate action through responsible leadership in addressing the immediate and remote circumstances that are festering terrorism and other forms of mass atrocities across the country. Finally, our appeal is to us citizens. We call on all Nigerians to remain vigilant. There is no better time than now for us to unite in demanding accountability of our government. We're first of all Nigerians before the other identities that we have. It is apparent that we're in a state of active warfare. And this warfare is against we, the people of Nigeria. Whether you're young, old, southern, eastern, western, or northern, Christian, Muslim, whatever your identities might be. We must therefore rise up to contend for the soul of our country from the hands of insurgents and political miscreants. We must protect our democracy and our civic space. We must all take particular care to refrain from misinformation and to refrain from misinformation and disinformation that will escalate insecurity. And we must be bold in our call to collectively demand accountability of government, knowing that no one is safe till everyone is safe.
Richards Abiloye, GTV Africa.